Okay, we are now live and on the record for Tuesday afternoon's criminal docket for February 1st, 2022. Dora Tajika, you have your hand raised. How can I help you? Dora Tajika? Okay, you need to wait for your attorney, ma'am. He has not come on yet. Okay, Miss Saishio, I apologize if I mispronounced that. Miss Saishio. Okay. All right, then, Ms. Diaz, what do you have?
I have a plea, Your Honor, number 19 on your docket. And it's Jose Gaetan, and he is available on Zoom, Your Honor.
Okay, Jose Gaitan? You present?
Señor Gaetan, sáquese de, I'm sorry, Judge, he is a Spanish speaker.
Okay, Señor Gaitan, ¿me escucha? Okay. All right, he's present. All right, Mr. Flores, what do you have?
Please, well, Your Honor. Just
Okay.
pulling up your docket right now so I can get the number.
All right, so Ashley Astrid Garcia, are you present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, make sure that you have your camera on. Okay, and then Mr. Osuna, what do you have?
We have a plea, Your Honor. My client is present.
Okay, what's your client's name?
Her name is Jennifer Salcedo, Your Honor. Let me, I'm sorry, I didn't have that.
It's fine. So Ms. Salcedo, can you hear me? Ms. Salcedo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, make sure that you have your camera on. There you go. Okay, Mr. David White, how can I help you?
Yes, Judge, we have a plea. Offer's been made. We intend to accept. It's a traffic ticket case, and my client just needs to comply in exchange for accepting the state's offer.
Okay, that's number 33 on the court's docket, CR 21-10411-I. Severino Balanzag, is he present?
He should be, Judge. We've spoken to him. My assistant's texting him right now. I don't see him in the meeting, but.
Okay, what does the state have as an announcement on this case?
Judge, we offered an ADR, just a defensive driving course for dismissal in that case.
Okay, so is your client still needing to take that course?
I believe so, yes, Judge.
Okay, how much time do you need for that?
If we could get 30 days, that would be more than sufficient.
March 1st at 9:30.
Very
If you
good.
get it done before then, submit everything. That's him coming in. Submit everything and it'll be done administratively.
Very good, Judge. We'll make sure it gets taken care of.
Okay, let me just have him connect to audio and I'll let him know. Mr. Balanzag, can you hear me? Mr. Balanzag? Okay, go ahead and let him know, Mr. White, because he's not, he's not responding.
Will do, Judge. May be excused.
Yes, you may, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Ms. Cantu del Bosque, what do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have number 26 on the criminal docket.
Okay, CR 20-1567-I, Kevin Reina. Kevin Reina, is he present?
I'm looking for him, Your Honor, and I don't see him.
Okay, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, on this particular case, he's pending the UA for the pretrial diversion. We're trying to get that to the state. However, his job keeps moving him, so it's hard to get him to a place where he can take that test. My understanding is that he's in Fort Worth area right now.
Okay, so I believe we've been pending that for a while, haven't we?
Yes, Your Honor. Last I knew he was in Houston and we were trying to schedule him in that area, and then suddenly he moved again. So I'm having a hard time trying to get that to the state judge. But if the court can give me just a short reset, I can try to get that to them, hopefully. Judge.
Okay, how short?
Maybe a week.
Okay, February 8th at 1:30.
Very well,
Mhm.
Your Honor.
And Your Honor, this is a PTD POM. Paperwork was sent back on June 22nd, 2021. This doesn't require a UA to get accepted into the program. The defendant just needs to sign up. The UA would be done at the end of the program.
I hadn't been told that, Judge. We've been trying to get him to take the UA all this time.
Okay, well, go ahead and submit that, and then if he's already signed off on it, so we can place him next week.
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jackson, what do you have, sir?
Your Honor, I have Miss Alejandra Lopez, and she should be on.
Okay, number 20, CR 20-08473-I, Alejandra Lopez. Ms. Lopez, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what is your announcement, counselor?
Your Honor, I just need a little bit of time to speak with Miss Lopez regarding the plea agreement that's been submitted to us by the District Attorney's Office.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, anything to add?
Your Honor, a recommendation was sent out on December 13th, 2021.
Is she still PTD eligible?
Yes, Your Honor, she is.
Okay. That's an option as well, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, I'll explore both options with my client. I just need a little bit of time, Your Honor.
Okay, April 5th at 9:30.
Thank you so much, Judge. That's all I have before this honorable court. May I be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Be safe.
Thank you, likewise.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Gutierrez, Attorney Lily Gutierrez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have numbers 15 and 16 on the docket. Alexander Contreras Jr. I'm not sure if he's on. I'm not sure if anyone's in the waiting room. I don't see him on the screen.
Isn't that him on the Galaxy S9?
I think so. He got his hair.
He got his haircut.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so CR 1908988-I, CR 21001000-I. So what do you want to do? Because I'm already recognizing your client.
Yes, Your Honor. And so on this case, there's supposed to be two victims who were going to propound testimony, or actually they're his brothers. I'm not sure if they're on, but I don't know if anyone's in a waiting room.
Okay, I have no one in the waiting room. Mr. Lozano, have you been in contact with them to see if they'll be providing victim testimony today?
Yes, Your Honor, I was in communication with both victims, victim Antonio Contreras and victim Andres Jasso. I informed them of the steps that they would need to take in order to try to get these cases dismissed against Alexander Contreras. I did send them the Zoom information today, and they should be online.
Okay, so they haven't come on yet, Ms. Gutierrez, but you and your client are welcome to wait to see if they come on at some point.
Very well, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I say something?
It's up to your attorney if she gives you permission.
Does it have to do with your brothers coming on?
Yeah, I would like to think. I don't, if they're not here, I don't think they'll join because I just talked to my brother because I was in communication with them about them signing the papers. And from what I'm aware of, my brother Andy signed it. And then my brother Tony was telling me that he's been trying to communicate with whoever the official is to get the paperwork signed, and they haven't gone back to him. That's what he told me. But like, I'm not really in talking stance with my brother. Like every time he's around, like at the house, I just ignore him because like I don't want beef or anything, especially with my mother, like and how she gets. So today we just spoke because of that, and that's what he told me, which I find hard to believe because I feel an official would have reached out and told him. But from what I'm aware of, he told me he's in the process and wants to sign it, but he just hasn't because he told me that he called and no one's called him. That's what he told me.
Okay, so.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
We do have an AMP on file. We're just waiting for victim testimony, and we're waiting for the anger management certificate for dismissal.
I'm sorry. So both of them have signed an ANP?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they're both signed. So now we're just needing their testimony.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So, Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Contreras has not completed the anger management. He was having some financial difficulties. He's on go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I already took the first steps. This week, I'm planning to pay that as well as the full thing of the probation, and I'll be done with all the financial part of my trial. So I'll be clear on that for sure by Monday. Come Monday, and I'll have the
So-
certificate.
So, Mr. Contreras, I have to commend you because you've really changed since the first time that you've come in front of me. Like, you've changed, and so whatever steps you're taking in your life to change, continue doing it, because I can totally tell a difference in you from the first time you appeared. So keep up the hard work on yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Is it just the hair? But
No, it's your vocabulary. It's the way you're articulating yourself. It's the way you're putting your thoughts together. It's the way that you're actually being attentive. I mean, you're awake. The other times there was times that you weren't fully there, and I'm sure you're going through a lot, but I feel that if I can see it through Zoom and a camera, that I'm sure that other people around you in your life can see it too. So, I mean, just continue doing the right steps that you're doing. I know it's not easy when you're not getting along with your family. So they've already signed the documents. All we need is for them to show up and give the testimony. So I'm going to give you some time to do that, to coordinate it. So, I don't know, Mr. Lozano, if they don't come on the next time, I don't know if you all are going to push for a bench trial, but it looks now like Mr. Contreras is working. So I'm sure it's hard for him to also be getting on and missing work as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset this for a couple of weeks. Well, the latter part of next week, we'll come back on February the 10th at 1:30. And please make sure to have them on here. If not, we'll figure it out.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll go ahead and staff these cases with my supervisor.
All right.
And then
Okay.
in the meantime, Your Honor, we'll provide that anger management certificate.
Okay. We'll see you then, Alexander.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Gonzalez, Attorney Savannah Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm sorry, let me mute my other Zoom.
Sure.
Judge, I've got number 34 on your docket, Armando Soto.
Okay, CR 21-04-572-I, Armando Soto. Mr. Soto, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your announcement, counselor?
Good afternoon, Judge. We are set for a plea on PTD today. However, I've been requesting since late last year for an ADR reconsideration, and I haven't gotten a response. I was hoping maybe Mr. Lozano or Mr. Sosa has some notes on that.
We do have a note from Daniel Gonzalez advising us that it was reviewed. The recommendation is the defendant to participate on the PTD program. We cannot offer a short PTD or a modified PTD.
Was that after December?
This was before. This was October 22nd, 2021. We don't see any updated notes from Daniel Gonzalez.
Okay, and I sent some requests directly to Mr. Rodriguez. I know he had been out with some limitations. I also copied higher ups on that, Mr. Esquivel, as well as Michael J. Garza. So Judge, I would ask for just a really short reset. I know my client desperately needs to get moving on this, but if there's a way we can get an ADR instead of a PTD, that's in his best interest, given his employment.
Okay, and how much time?
What do you think, Mr. Lozano, like a week, 2 max?
No, maybe like 30 days, Your Honor.
Okay.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Soto?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
March 1st at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Soto, you're excused until then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, that's the only one you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
yes, okay. And who's here from Ms. Ramirez's office? From Attorney Tanya Ramirez's office?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, good afternoon. Are you here ready for a plea on Martin Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor. That's number 29 in your docket.
Okay, so how are we going to handle that being, isn't that your impaired client?
Yes, Your Honor. And I was just thinking that right now. I know, I don't know when you have a, he doesn't speak ASL, but he basically he reads lips in Spanish, so that's why his mother interprets for him. So I don't know the best way to handle that.
Well, it's that, okay, I'm not sure if the state, at the time when Mr. Aguirre was, made the last announcement, that was his concern. And then I think we were gonna look into how it is that we could do it while preserving his rights. So I don't know, obviously, I mean, as his defense attorney, it would be up to you what you're comfortable with, what you and your client have discussed, how we could go about it. Like, what is the best, I don't know what is the best way, or what the state would be comfortable with as well, for him to understand what the admonishments are.
Well, his mother is with him, and so I don't know the best way to do that. But I mean, I will. We did have his mother here with him when he signed the plea paperwork. My assistant was here as well, and so I'm confident he understands. He understands what is happening today.
Okay.
And I would.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, can you please ask Mr. Sanchez's mom if she'll be translating for him?
Señora, ¿usted le va a traducir al señor Sánchez? Su bocina está apagada. Su bocina está apagada.
Tell her to push the microphone.
Oprima el micrófono.
¿Ya?
Sí.
Sí.
¿Usted le va a estar traduciendo al señor Sánchez?
Sí, yo lo que me digan ustedes, yo se lo traduzco y me lee los labios en español.
Whatever you tell me, I'm going to translate and he reads my lips in Spanish.
Okay. Let her know that we're gonna, Mr. Munoz, because of the special circumstances, we're gonna have him the last plea that we do, so that we can make sure that we go slow, okay? Okay, so if you want to check back, if you need other courts to check into, you can come check in about 20 minutes.
Okay, Your Honor.
If
And
not, you can also wait on here if you'd like.
okay, so 20 minutes. And so I do want to point out one potential issue is that I don't believe that the mother's fluent in English. So it'll be like a double translation, if that makes sense. Unless the court translator can put her screen on when she's translating, I think he'll be able to read her lips. Because she won't be able to translate your words from English to Spanish, if that makes sense.
Okay, so no, my translator will speak to the mother in Spanish,
Mhm.
and then the mom is going to translate or say exactly what I guess Ms. Castañeda is saying to Mr. Sanchez.
Okay, Your Honor. So
I'm guessing that's going to be the best way to do it. If not, we can set it up for an in-person.
No, we would like to get this resolved to have him start making the payments and everything like that. So.
All right. So Ms. Castañeda, let him know that we're going to put him at the end of the docket, and we'll take him up in about 20 minutes.
Vamos a proceder con este caso como en 20 minutos, nos vamos a poner para el final.
Está bien.
Okay, so tell her that she can put herself on mute until then.
Puede apagar su micrófono hasta entonces.
En 20 minutos lo prendemos otra vez.
Correcto.
Muchas gracias. Aquí esperaremos.
They'll be waiting.
And I'll walk back in then, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. De Luna?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm standing in for Ms. Muniz, and of course I misplaced my paper. I believe, there we go. She's number 8, 9, 10, and 11. It's the same defendant, and it is a plea, Your Honor. I don't know if we're calling pleas at this time.
Oh, yes, we're getting those ready. Okay, Deputy, can you please bring David Ramos Rivas?
Hey, Judge.
Okay, So Mr. Rivas, are you English speaking or Spanish speaking?
Yes, Your Honor, English.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have Mr. Rivas that's ready, present and ready. Ms. Garcia, Ashley Garcia, that's present and ready. Jose Gaitan, who's present and ready. Mr. Arredondo. Edelmiro Arredondo. Okay, Mr. Oliva, can you hear me? Okay, Jennifer Salcedo is present and ready. And that's it. Okay. So Ms. Castañeda, I'll need for you to translate for Mr. Gaitan, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me get that. Okay, if I called your name as being present and ready, please raise your right hand. Please have Mr. Gaitan raise his right hand, and all of you need to be off of mute, please. All of you need to be unmuted.
Señor Gaitán, por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Castañeda?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Rivas, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, you all may lower your hands.
¿Puede bajar su mano?
In CR 210516-I, State of Texas versus Jose Santana Gaitan, is that your true and correct name, sir?
En el estado de Texas contra José Santana Gaitán, ¿ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
CR 2113-227-I, State of Texas versus David Ramos Rivas Jr., is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, will he be pleading on the other two as well, Mr. Lozano?
Judge, it is my understanding. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Your Honor, the criminal mischief is going to be dismissed, the fleeing from police is going to be dismissed, and so is the resisting arrest. He'll only be pleading to the DWI Class B.
And that's my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, criminal mischief dismissed, fleeing police officer dismissed, and what other one?
Resisting arrest, number 11, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. All right, in CR 20-03-670-I and CR 20-01765-I, State of Texas versus Ashley Astrid Garcia, is that your true and correct name, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 20-08173-I, State of Texas versus Jennifer Salcedo, is that your true and correct name, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Rivas, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. I will explain shortly the range of punishment for that offense. Ms. Garcia, you are before the court charged with possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, and reckless driving. Mr. Gaitan, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Gaitán, está usted frente a la corte por un cargo de manejar en estado de intoxicación, que es un delito, una ofensa menor clase B. En un momento le voy a explicar lo que es la ofensa clase B.
Okay.
In CR 20-08173-I, Ms. Salcedo, you're being charged with theft of property of greater or equal to $100 but less than $750, a Class B misdemeanor. For the defendants with a Class B misdemeanor, that carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. If you are charged with a Class A misdemeanor, that carries up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Ms. Castañeda, will you please translate for Mr. Gaitan the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor?
Señor Gaitán, una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción.
Do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? Mr. Rivas, yes or no? Mr. Rivas, do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Mr. Gaitán, ¿entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por la ofensa que está acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
All of you have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with the court. Did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it? Mr. Rivas, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
El señor Gaitán, usted tiene el derecho de un abogado y tiene el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero puede renunciar a uno o a dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. ¿Tuvo usted una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos con su abogado antes de firmar? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
And did each of you understand when you signed that document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Yes or no, Mr. Rivas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes or no, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes or no, Ms. Salcedo?
Yes.
Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Mr. Gaitán, ¿entiende usted que cuando firmó ese documento que estaba renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
The court will accept your waiver of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Mr. Rivas, yes or no? Mr. Rivas, has a court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent?
Oh, no. What do you mean?
Have they ever?
Honor, it's not.
Okay. Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
No.
All right, Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Señor Gaitán, ¿alguna corte lo ha declarado alguna vez mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Then the court will make a finding that all the defendants before the court are all mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Do you understand that? Yes or no, Mr. Rivas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, please translate.
Mr. Gaitán, ¿entiende usted que si el castigo que yo voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación? ¿Entiende eso, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Yes or no, Mr. Rivas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes or no, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo?
Yes.
And also, Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Mr. Gaitán, ¿también entiende que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, I need to ask you all at this time, are you a U.S. citizen? Mr. Rivas, are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Castañeda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Señor Gaitán, ¿es usted ciudadano americano?
No.
No.
If you are not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea today?
Mr. Gaitán, si no es ciudadano americano, entonces esta petición va a resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización. ¿Entiende usted las consecuencias de su petición?
Sí.
Yes.
And understanding the consequences of his plea today, does he still want to enter into a plea?
Y sabiendo usted las consecuencias, ¿quiere usted proceder hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
In CR 21-13227-I, the state of Texas versus David Ramos Rivas Jr. to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty? In CR 20-03670-I and CR 20-01765-I, the state of Texas versus Ashley Astrid Garcia to the offense of possession of marijuana of less than 2 ounces, a Class B misdemeanor, and the offense of reckless driving, ma'am. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty to each charge?
Guilty.
And on CR 20-10516-I, the state of Texas versus Jose Santana Gaitan to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra José Santana Gaitán por una ofensa de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B, ¿cómo se declara culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
In CR 20-08173-I, the state of Texas versus Jennifer Salcedo to the offense of theft of property of greater or equal to $100 but less than $750, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, ma'am? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are all of you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Mr. Rivas, yes or no? Mr. Rivas, are you pleading guilty today freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Garcia, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Castaneda, please translate for Mr. Gaitan.
Mr. Gaitán, ¿se está usted declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports as States Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as States Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as States Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as States Exhibit 4, and the PTD packets as States Exhibit 5. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
Any objections, Ms. De Luna?
No objections, Your Honor, and so stipulated.
Mr. Flores?
No, Your Honor, no objection. Sorry about that.
Ms. Diaz?
No objection, so agreed and stipulated, Your Honor.
Mr. Osuna?
No objection, Your Honor. So agreed and stipulated.
Okay, there being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. In CR 21-13227-I, the state of Texas versus David Ramos Rivas Jr. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what's the state's recommendation or?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommends a $100 fine, court costs 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 2 years, an alcohol class, defensive driving class, anger management class, mobile alcohol monitoring device for 1 year, the MAD impact panel, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and the state will be requesting a restitution hearing.
Ms. De Luna, any questions or consideration on behalf of your client?
Judge, I didn't speak to Ms. Munoz on that, but having heard was just read by Mr. Lozana, I would ask for consideration on any fine and court cost, as Mr. Rivas also pled to a felony yesterday morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, why is he having to take an anger management class?
Because, Your Honor, we're dismissing the resisting arrest, the fleeing from police, and the facts indicated some anger issues.
Judge, I don't know exactly what was done on the felony. I assume that those concerns would have been addressed at that time with the felony as well.
I just think that because of it's so hard to get into those classes, and those really should be reserved for people that are, well, I don't want to say only, but in most cases for domestic violence or somewhere where physical abuse has occurred or allegedly occurred. And I'm not going to order him to go to anger management. I'm going to also waive the fine and the court costs. I'm going to allow for the 90 days Texas driver's license suspension to run concurrent with any other suspension that may have been issued administratively. The rest of the recommendation I will follow. And when is the restitution hearing date?
It's gonna be March the 1st at 9:30.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you. I'll go ahead and let Ms. Muniz know about the restitution hearing and the rest of today's plea, Your Honor. Thank you. So much.
Okay, so the rest of the recommendation I'll follow. Mr. Rivas, best of luck to you, sir.
We can release.
I don't know the circumstances of all your cases. Mr. Luna, he had a question if he was being released today.
My understanding is that he would be, Your Honor, given what I understand of the felony rec. But I'll go ahead and have Ms. Muniz give me that information. If necessary, I'll go see him later on today if that should not be the case.
Okay, it does sound like you will be released today. However, you do know that takes some time. If anything changes, Mr. Luna has stated that she will go and visit you personally and let you know.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, best of luck.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
You certainly may. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
You too. NCR 20-3670-I, the state of Texas versus Ashley Astrid Garcia, and NCR 20-1765-I. It is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged on each of those offenses. What is the state's recommendation? Oh, these are PTD placements. Okay. Your finding of guilt will be deferred until the end of the program. You're asking to be placed on a pretrial diversion program. That's a contract you're entering into with the state of Texas. You're agreeing to comply with certain conditions, ma'am. In exchange, if you successfully complete the program, the state will dismiss the charges against you. Is there anything on there, Mr. Flores, that you feel that your client cannot comply with?
No, Your Honor, she's ready to comply with everything.
Okay, when is her next setting?
August the 2nd, Your Honor.
And that'll be at 9:30. So I'm gonna grant you that request, Ms. Garcia, and I will place you on the PTD program. Okay, Mr. Flores, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was asking if jokingly if that's going to be in person. I guess you know.
I don't know. I mean, we'll let you know. I mean, we hope, but we'll see.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge,
Yes.
are we done in the Fox section? May we be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Deputy, I have Mr. Rigney here and he has Mr. Armando Garcia.
I don't
Do you
have
have
that
an
name.
Armando Garcia with you?
No, ma'am. Oh, really? We only had two inmates. One was recent.
It out.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Garcia bonded out, Judge.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead. Who was gonna make an announcement?
He should be on Zoom, but he bonded out.
I had a jail case, Judge. I mean, I'm not sure they brought him in. All the cases were dismissed, Judge, though. Fernando de los Rios.
No, he's not on the list for a jail case.
Okay, I guess he got removed administratively, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, anything else?
No, that's all, Deputy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rigney, Mr. Garcia is not present.
He should be on Zoom, Judge. I sent him the link information.
Okay, well, he's not on yet. I don't know if you want your office to contact him.
Yes, Judge. Let me get a hold of him.
Okay, thank you. Okay, NCR 210516-I, State of Texas versus Jose Santana Gaitan. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castaneda, please translate that.
Judge, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt that. Was I dismissed?
Yes, you'll come back. Oh, I do need a phone number for you.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be 956-510-6970.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Okay, Ms. Castaneda, please translate that for Mr. Gaitan.
En el estado de Texas, contra José Santana Gaitán por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos que está acusado.
What is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $200 fine, court costs, 1 year deferred adjudication, an alcohol class, the ignition interlock device for 12 months, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 20 community service hours.
Okay, Ms. Diaz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
I do, Your Honor, in reference to the interlock device, Your Honor, when I had questioned it, there is nothing for him to say that he needed to install it, which is number 20 on the documents. It is his first TWI from what I understood, Your Honor, which isn't required. I don't remember seeing that as a requirement when I questioned the state in reference to a lot of the programs that were listed. They said as long as it did not have anything on the blanks, they weren't requesting it. So I'm a little confused.
Mr.
If you look at
Lozano?
number 20, it has a blank, Judge, where it says for the period of, and there's a lot of other blanks in the electronic device, number 21, number 20. So I figured it was the same as all the other ones, and that was the answer I received. So I'm a little lost on that one, Judge.
Your Honor, the state's not requesting a mobile alcohol monitoring device. That would be condition 20 that defense counsel is pointing out. Condition 25 is the ignition interlock device, which is 12 months filled out properly.
My apologies, Judge. I stand corrected. I thought he was referring to number. My apologies, Judge. I stand corrected.
All right, so he is to obtain the, does Ms. Castaneda please ask Mr. Gaitan if he works full-time?
Señor Gaitán, ¿está usted trabajando tiempo completo?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, the court's going to waive his 20 CSR hours. He has 48 hours to obtain the interlock device. Please let him know.
Ok, va a tener que obtener un dispositivo de alcohol. Tiene 48 horas de cuando la juez firma la orden para obtener ese dispositivo.
Let him know that the probation department will be contacting him soon and he can ask them questions about the vendors.
Okay. El departamento de probation se va a estar comunicando con usted y si tiene alguna pregunta tocante quién prohíbe los dispositivos, ellos le pueden contestar esa pregunta.
Okay.
Ask him to put his phone number on the record, please.
Por favor, nos da su número de teléfono.
956-360-3908.
956-360-3908.
Okay, his 90-day Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any administrative suspension. He'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court cost. Okay, anything else?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Gaitan know that he is excused.
Señor Gaitán, ya se puede retirar.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Salcedo, did we get you back?
Yes, my phone turned off.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. So in CR 2008-173-I, the state of Texas versus Jennifer Salcedo, it is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $200 fine, court costs 8 months deferred adjudication, a theft class, and 20 community service hours.
Okay, Mr. Osuna, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a young lady. She's currently looking for work. One of the limitations that she's having is that she doesn't have an ID. I have alerted her to the existence of Ms. Trejo. We would humbly ask if the court would consider a tentative approval for no community service hours in the event that she does secure employment.
Okay, I'm gonna order you to meet with the employment specialist, Ms. Trejo. If you do secure full-time employment, then I will remove those 20 CSR hours. You don't have to do those 20 CSR hours, okay? I'm gonna cut your fine from $200 to $100, and you'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs. Okay, the finding of guilt will also be deferred until the end of the term to see if you comply with everything, okay?
Okay. Yes.
What is your phone number?
It's 956-359-5499.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Osuna?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Solis, what do you have?
Judge, I have Ms. Dora Tajica.
Okay, she's on. I called her name out, but I don't know if she can hear me.
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, that's CR 21-04350-I. And she is present. What is the announcement?
Judge, I believe we had an agreement if she paid restitution for a dismissal, Judge. I'm not sure if the state has any information on that.
Your Honor, we would also be requiring the theft class, so restitution is still pending. We would need a theft class, and then we would file the dismissal administratively.
Okay, so then she hasn't paid the restitution yet?
Judge, and I wanted to seek a little bit of guidance from the court, Judge, because my firm, all the lawyers in my firm recently got off the appointment wheel. I've been just trying to close off the cases that I can. But the ones that are gonna get prolonged, we're basically withdrawing. I had indicated to Ms. Tajica about the agreement. Judge, if she's willing to comply with it soon, I'll go ahead and finish the case off, Judge. But if it's gonna get prolonged, I'm respectfully gonna ask to withdraw from the case, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Tajica, do you know how much time you'll need to pay that restitution?
Yes, Your Honor, if you can give me only 30 days, I will pay the restitution in full.
Okay, so then in between now and those 30 days, you'll have to also take the theft class, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Solis, is that okay time period for you to finish the case?
Yes, Judge, that's fine.
Okay, then I'm gonna set it for a status on March the 1st at 9:30. Ms. Tajica, please have everything done before then so that they can just dismiss it administratively and neither you nor your attorney will have to come back, okay?
Okay, Judge.
Mr. Solis, if she takes care of it before then you don't have to come back.
Thank you, Judge, appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, Judge, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rigney, it looks like your client did come on. Mr. Garcia, can you please turn on your camera? Okay. So let me go ahead and call CR 22-00824-I, CR 20-00276-I, CR 21-06927-I, and CR 21-07525-I. Mr. Armando Garcia Jr. is present. Mr. Rigney, I do have that he's here to get arraigned also on the newly assigned assault case. So do you want me to arraign him?
I believe there's arraignment on 2 of them, Judge. Number
3 and 6, Judge.
Oh, number
Yeah,
3 and 6? Okay.
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand, Mr. Garcia. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can lower your hand. In CR 22-00824-I, the state of Texas versus Armando Garcia Jr., is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
And also on CR 21-07525-I, is that your true and correct name, Armando Garcia Jr.?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Here before the court charged with assault causing bodily injury on a family member, a Class A misdemeanor, and also on violation of a bond or protective order, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive, sir, for the offenses of which you are charged?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Sir, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
Never.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
I believe he's competent, Judge.
The court will make a finding that Mr. Garcia is competent and able to assist his attorney in his own defense and enters a plea of not guilty on each of those offenses that he's here before the court. Okay, so what are your announcements on these cases, Mr. Rigney?
Judge, being that he picked up some new cases, I just need to get with the state to find out what we're going to do with all of them. See if they have a plea offer
We also have an issue because he was supposed to obtain an alcohol monitoring device. The provider notified us that he just went and left the device in the front door. It's not, so Mr. Garcia, that's not a choice. Why is it that you just went to go leave it, or did you have somebody go leave it?
No, ma'am, I turned it in because I had a warrant from under my wrist, and I told them I didn't want to. They said they were going to report it for theft. So I had a warrant from my wrist. Excuse me?
Because you hadn't paid?
No, I had a warrant from my wrist.
No, I know. But why did they say they were going to report you? Is it because you weren't paying on the device?
No, ma'am, because I picked up that this last misdemeanor assault.
Okay. You need to go back and get that device, okay? Because you need to start, now that you're out on bond, you need to start complying with all of those conditions. So the alcohol monitoring device is a condition of your bond. So in order for you to be out here, you need to be reporting. So you need to go and get that device.
I sure will, ma'am.
So I'm only gonna give you, let me see, are you working again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is your phone number?
956-888-2746.
Okay, I need for you to get that device before February the 8th. I'm gonna have you come back on February the 8th at 9:30 for a status to see if you got that device, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And Your Honor, the state's gonna request that as part of his condition, he stay away from Lizette Nino.
Okay, no contact with Lizette Nino, sir.
No contact.
Who is Lizette Nino?
She is we used to be common law.
Okay, but you're not together anymore, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you all share children together?
We don't.
Okay. Then you're to have no contact, okay, Mr. Garcia?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. I'll see you back here on February the 8th at 9:30. Please get that device, sir, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your
If not, I'm
time.
gonna have to put you back in, and I don't want to do that.
Okay, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
Judge, Tuesday mornings, I have docket at the Far Municipal Court. Is it possible to do it in the afternoon?
Yes, 1:30 is fine.
Thank you, Judge.
No problem. Okay,
That's all
anything else?
before the court today. No, Judge, that's all. Maybe excused.
You certainly may.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Your
Bye-bye.
Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're excused. Mr. Alvarez. Mr. Alvarez. Mr. Marquez, Rafael Marquez.
Yes, ma'am.
Take your cap off, sir. Mr. Marquez, your case has already been dismissed, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
So you are excused.
Your Honor, he
Okay.
still has 2 cases. He has the.
Oh, the other 2. Okay,
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
those were not dismissed as part of this?
No, Your Honor.
They were only going to be dismissed if he pled to the misdemeanor.
Correct, Your Honor. So he has the DWI pending. The POM is going to be dismissed with the plea to the DWI. The resisting arrest was dismissed in exchange for the plea to the felony.
Okay, got you.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
then let me see what Mr. Alvarez wants to do. Then you need to hang around, Mr. Marquez, because Mr. Alvarez is not responding. So he might be in another court.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr.
My
Alvarez.
apologies, Judge.
Okay, so one of his cases was dismissed as part of a plea to a felony, but he
That is
does
correct.
have still the POM and the DWI, the other DWI. No, it's not a second, it's his first.
Yes, Judge, and we do have the plea papers, and he just needs to come in to sign those documents. That's all we're lacking.
Okay, so when do you want me to set you up for a plea then?
As soon as I can get him in here, we've contacted him. I just need him to come in here. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Marquez, when are you able to go into your attorney's office?
Probably tomorrow, ma'am.
Okay, we can set you up for February the 8th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Make sure that you go in though, because if not, your attorney's not gonna have the paperwork in time.
At
Yes,
1:30,
ma'am.
you said, Your Honor, or was it 8:30?
Yes, February 8th at 1:30.
Got it, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be
Okay.
excused?
Yes, and Mr.
Thank you,
Marquez, you're
ma'am.
excused.
Have a good day, man.
You too. Okay, Mr. Arredondo, I had called you earlier. I think you were tied up. Is Mr. Oliva ready for placement?
Yes, Judge, we're ready for placement. Sorry, Judge, I had a few devices running and I was running up and down the office, Judge.
Okay, no problem. Mr. Oliva, please turn on your camera.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You may lower your hand. In CR 1804652-I, the state of Texas versus Matthew Rene Oliva, is that your true and correct name, sir?
That is correct.
You're before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. That carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you can receive for the offense of which you are charged?
I do.
You have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with this court. Did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it?
I'm assuming this is from the very beginning when I first pled, or I'm confused as far as what's going on right now. That's why.
Mr. Arredondo, your client is confused as to what is going on today. Do you want to explain to him?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Oliva, today is the PTD placement. This is the program that we explained to you that this gets to case dismissed. This is where
Okay.
we can place you into the PTD program.
Okay. Now I understand.
Okay. So did you have an opportunity to review the document with your attorney before signing it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand when you signed the document that you were waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's okay, then the court will accept your waiver of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, ma'am.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
I do, Your Honor.
Then the court will make a finding that he is mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense. Do you understand, sir, that if the punishment that I would assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you'll need this court's permission to file an appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the court does not have to accept the state's recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In CR 1804652-I, the state of Texas versus Matthew Rene Oliva to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Sir, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Then the court will accept your plea as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports as State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4, and the PTD packet as State's Exhibit 5. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
Any
There's no
objections,
objection.
counselor?
No objection, Your Honor. We so agree to stipulate to follow the state's requests.
There being no objection from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. In CR 1804652-I, the state of Texas versus Matthew Rene Oliva, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you're guilty as charged. However, you are asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Therefore, a finding of guilt will be deferred to see if you comply with all the program's conditions. That is a contract with the state, sir, that you are agreeing to abide by certain conditions. The state's agreeing to dismiss the charges against you if you successfully complete the program. Do you understand the charges? I'm sorry, do you understand the terms and conditions of that program as they were explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything on there that you cannot realistically meet?
I mean, I do have a few questions regarding it because I work out of town, so I'm constantly like around Texas.
Okay, I will waive the condition that requires you to be in Hidalgo County. I'll allow you to travel for work. Therefore, you can, I don't know how that's gonna affect your reporting. Ms. Soto, do you know how he would do it?
Judge, she has to report with me for intake, the first appointment. After that, we can do over the phone and report in person as needed.
Okay,
Judge,
so
also-
Mr. Oliva, what is your phone number?
956-355-2409.
Okay, what were you gonna ask, Mr. Arredondo?
The CSR hours can be waived. He is the
The
employee. full-time.
CSR hours will be waived. Also, do you have an alcohol monitoring device, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's an interlock device on my personal pickup.
Okay, Ms. Soto, and do you receive reports on that? Do you even use your personal pickup?
I do. I mean, I
Okay.
don't use it as often, but I use it.
Ms. Soto, have you been receiving reports on him?
Yes, Judge, she does have interlock with Lifesaver, and the report for last month only had 2 engine starts.
Yeah. That defeats the purpose of monitoring you. When do you come back into town?
I come back this month. I want to say, is the 17th a Thursday or is the 18th a Thursday?
The 17th is a Thursday.
Okay, the 17th I'll be driving home. So Friday, I want to say that's the 18th, I'll be home in the valley. So I can do whatever you guys need me to do on that day.
Okay, and how long will you be here?
Just that weekend, and then I'll leave back out on that Monday, back to work, and then I'll be gone for another 3.5 weeks, give or take.
Okay, I need you to switch out from that interlock device to a mobile alcohol monitoring device. Would that be allowed, Ms. Lozano, given his circumstances, or are you going to require an interlock?
No, it's a mobile, Judge. On PTD, it's a mobile.
Okay, so you need to switch out from the interlock device to the mobile alcohol monitoring device. We'll give you an order to that effect.
Okay.
And that'll be sent over to your attorney so that you can have it by the time you get here on the 18th. And then Ms. Soto will contact you with a list of providers. Because on the PTD program, the reason they have you on that monitoring device is because it's to continue to monitor you consistently as to whether there's alcohol use or not on the program. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
What other date? What's his next date, Ms. Rivera?
Judge, his next date's gonna be January the 31st, 2023.
Okay, so we won't see you back here till January 31st, 2023 at 9:30 a.m.
I have another court date scheduled for March. Do I ignore that one or is that still going?
Is that what court date was that for this case?
Yeah, because they gave me the PTD case for today, and then they had rescheduled me because you were out with COVID, I think, or something.
yeah.
You can disregard that, Mr. Oliva. Disregard that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can, if it's on this case, you disregard it.
Okay, so just
You're done.
next
Well,
court
today-
date, January.
Right, next year.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so make sure you get everything done because the only way I'll see you before then is if you're not complying.
Oh, I'll comply. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I do have one question. I can stay with Lifesaver, right? Because I know they have mobile devices as well.
Yeah, you can have whichever provider you want.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. That's all we got. Any big excuse?
Yes, you certainly may.
Have a great day, Judge.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Likewise. Okay, Mr. Munoz, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, so now we're gonna get started on your case. Let me go ahead and go to that.
And yes, Your Honor, we're here for a plea. Jonathan Munoz for Tanya Ramirez, representing Jaime Martin Sanchez, and it's number 29 in your docket.
Okay, CR 20-04835-I, State of Texas versus Martin Jaime Sanchez. Ms. Castañeda, can you please ask his mom to unmute?
Señora, ¿puede prender el micrófono otra vez?
Ya. ¿Listo?
Ready?
Okay, have him raise his right hand.
Por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Does he swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura decir la verdad y nada más. Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí, lo juro.
Okay, so, but him,
¿Y el señor Sánchez?
Sí.
Yes.
okay, tell him if they can lower their hands.
¿Puede bajar su mano?
In CR 20-48335-I, the state of Texas versus Martin Jaime Sanchez, is that your true and correct name, sir?
En el estado de Texas contra Martín Jaime Sánchez, ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, he is before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor.
Está usted frente a la corte por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, un delito, una ofensa menor clase B.
Muy bien.
Go ahead and translate everything she says, please.
That's fine.
A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction.
Una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción.
Sí, está bien. Bien.
Yes, that's fine.
Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged?
¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por los delitos que está acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
Does he understand that he has a right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury? You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with the court.
Y él entiende que tiene un derecho a un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero puede renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte.
Sí, sí lo entiende.
Yes,
Sí,
he understands.
Did he have an opportunity to review the document with the attorney before signing it?
Y él tuvo una oportunidad de revisar, de firmar esos documentos con su abogado antes de firmarlos.
Sí, ya los revisamos y ya los firmó.
Yes, we saw them and he signed them.
Okay. So did he understand that when he signed it, he was waiving his right to a trial by jury?
Y entendió que cuando firmó esos documentos estaba renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado.
Sí, entendimos.
Yes, we understand.
Then the court will accept the waiver of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared him to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
¿Alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
And counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
I do, Your Honor.
Then the court will make a finding that Mr. Sanchez is competent and able to assist his attorney in his own defense. Do you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you'll need the court's permission to file an appeal?
Así entiende que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí, entendemos.
Yes, we understand.
And do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the state's recommendation?
Y también entiende que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado.
Sí, también.
Yes, also.
Okay, at this time I need to know if Mr. Sanchez is a U.S. citizen.
Okay. ¿El señor Sánchez es ciudadano americano?
Sí, los dos somos ciudadanos americanos.
Yes, we both are.
In CR 20-48335-I, the state of Texas versus Martin Jaime Sanchez to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How does he plead? Guilty or not guilty?
en el estado de Texas contra Martín Jaime Sánchez por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, ¿cómo se declara? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
Culpable. ¿Cómo te derejas?
Guilty.
And is he pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
¿Y se está declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Culpable.
Sí,
eres tú.
yo culpable.
Yes, I'm guilty.
Then the court will accept his plea as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, State Office plea documents and offense reports as State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
Any objections?
No objections, so stipulated.
There being no objection from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. In CR 20-04835-I, the state of Texas versus Martin Jaime Sanchez, it is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castañeda, please translate that.
En el estado de Texas contra Martín Jaime Sánchez por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable del cargo que está acusado.
Sí, está bien.
That's fine.
What's the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $200 fine, court costs, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 10 months, an alcohol class, ignition interlock device for 5 months, 20 community service hours, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and the state will be requesting a restitution hearing.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, one request, Your Honor, would be waiving to the extent possible costs and fees, because he's actually had his interlock device installed for, I believe, more than a year, and I believe paying like $150, $200 or a good amount on that, and he's still going to need it for 5 more months, and he currently is unemployed and disabled. And because of his disability and probably his inability to work with us, try to arrange the community service hours, we would also ask for a reduction or a waiver of the community service hours.
Okay, the court is going to waive the fines and the court costs in this case, going to waive the 20 CSR hours, is going to approve the rest of the recommendation as follows, with the exception of the 90 days Texas driver's license suspension that'll run concurrent with any administrative suspension that is currently pending or that has been issued. And what date for restitution?
March the 1st, Your Honor.
Okay, March 1st at 9:30 will be the restitution hearing. Ms. Castañeda, please let them know that March 1st at 9:30 will be the next hearing, but he is being placed on probation.
La próxima corte, la corte para la audiencia de restitución va a ser el día 1 de marzo a las 9:30 de la mañana, pero ahorita lo están poniendo en probation.
Okay, a phone number, please.
¿Me da su número de teléfono, por favor?
¿Cómo no? 956-821-0345.
956-821-0345.
Okay,
And
let
Judge, sorry to interrupt, but before they're excused, can I just get her name? The mom's name.
Ms. Castañeda, please tell her to put her name on the record.
Señora, por favor, pone su nombre para que lo grabe la señorita Flores.
Sí, mi nombre completo es María del Roble Leticia Tijerina de Sánchez. Es el nombre largo. El corto es Leticia T. Sánchez, de Sánchez.
María del Roble Leticia Tijerina de Sánchez, for short, María Tijerina. María Leticia Tijerina.
No, el
she
corto,
said for short it was Leticia Tijerina de
Leticia
Sánchez.
Tijerina de Sánchez.
Tijerina o T me le ponen. Leticia T. de Sánchez, es el corto.
Leticia T. Sánchez o Leticia Tijerina Sánchez.
No, Leticia T. de Sánchez.
Leticia T. de Sánchez.
Okay, anything else?
No, not from the defense counsel, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, please let him know, Ms. Castaneda, that he is excused.
Okay, ya se pueden retirar.
Muchas gracias. Que pasen
Thank
buena.
you.
Igualmente,
Honor.
ma'am. Okay, thank you, Mr. Munoz.
Thank you.
Okay, let me review the docket. Okay, so then on number 1 and 2, those got reset?
Yes, Judge, we'll reset them for the 8th at 1:30.
Okay.
Number 7, Judge, the defendant was in Jipoggs County. We'll reset her as well for the 8th at 1:30.
Okay, what about number 12 and 13?
So number 12, Judge, I did see that there's a felony and that's CR-007622D. The pre-trial is set for the 28th of this month at 8:30 a.m.
Okay,
We can set it for March the 1st, Judge, if you'd like.
okay, at 1:30?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and number 13 can be set for the 3rd?
Yes, Judge, it's set for the 3rd.
So March 3rd at 1:30? Number 25?
1 second, Judge. I know that I saw his office calling. Judge, he filed an order setting hearing for a suppression.
Okay,
I'll reset him.
and number 27?
Number 27, Judge, it's set for a status on the 24th of March.
Okay. Okay, that concludes this afternoon's docket. Let me stop the live stream.